Hello Gemini, it's Lorene from Insight Readings with your insights for the month of 20. I'd like to just give gratitude and say thank you so much for your likes, your subscribes and your comments. I really appreciate it. And your views. It helps me to grow the channel and it is an inspiration for me to keep doing these videos each month. Thank you so much for that. I'd like to go straight into our reading and invite guides. So, guardians of the four corners, angels, ancestors, and sacred ones, I call on you now and welcome you here. Thank you for your clarity, your wisdom, and your understanding. Thank you for your discernment. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for your guidance. Amen. Okay, so Gemini, we're going to do 3 cards, and then we'll see where this goes. And as always, it is a general reading. So place this in the situation that you find yourself in currently. Alright, so I'm going to cut that into 3. And we'll take the first card of each. There we go. Aries, or the Emperor, 6 of Swords, and the King of Swords. There's your energy. Air energy. So you come into this, you might be dealing with an Aries, that might be a possibility as well, or dealing with an authority figure, because the Lord or the Emperor is an authority figure. It seems like I get this defensive feeling. The horns are about defending yourself, standing up, or being taking care of something, or definitely working with somebody in authority. It could be somebody that has to make decisions for the greater good here, because the Emperor takes care of the empire, not just the kingdom of home. He makes the city run well. He makes the rules and regulations to run big things, and because of that, he can't please everyone. So this is having the sort of falcon or eagle focus on something. He looks pretty focused on what he wants to do. He's ready to get up. He's quite comfortable and confident in what he wants. He's got the ram's hens here, so this is an Aries, significantly in comes up. He's on a stone chair, so he's pretty rock solid in what he does. He, she, whatever the gender, it's not about gender. It is a yang energy, which makes changes that affect the outside, not just the inside. And then we have the 6 of Swords. So sailing away from this, this could deal with governments as well, and with our COVID and everything that's going around. The authority might be their place there, and you feel that it is dictative in a sense, because this can be that sense. But yes, sailing away from it, moving away, traveling away from it, going to calmer waters. It's been conflict. You could have been in conflict with an Aries. Yes, 6 Swords here, lessons that you've learned that were not easy. And sort of moving forward into calmer waters, to different shores. And, normally in other decks you do it yourself, but here's somebody that's doing it for you. There's a boatman that is assisting you to move forward and to cut off the past and move forward. And then we have the King of Swords, and this is you thinking and contemplating here about the truth of a situation. This blue is just so prominent here, having truth and clarity about a situation, being ready to jump up at any moment, to find an answer, to see what this is about, to make a decision, to make a ruling. As a king, it's a mature energy about what is right, what is clear-cut, what is decisive, what needs to be removed. And this is looking towards that, the 6 of Swords. So we're going to clarify that, Spirit, please. 2 cards each. I just want to split these so that we can get them in here. Alright, so what is the Lord? 4 4 is a foundation as well. There could have been a very rock solid foundation, or there is. And house is coming to mind. That's a possibility because of the stone. I mean, that is a foundation. Okay, so we have, yes, negotiation around something, a skill, discussions about finances or a skill, or taking up a new study, maybe with a teacher. This is somebody in high power. This could be definitely an upskilling of sorts. Because 3s are about building on something. Yes, and here we have the magician. So there's something new here that is actually an upskill to something. The magician creates as above, so below, whatever has happened here. There's the conjunct now between the two, or what you're working on. If you're trying to set rules and boundaries that is best for the greater good. Negotiating, speaking about it in a practical sense, because it's Pentacles. If it is around finances, being practical about it, being studious, explaining the situation. He's up on this chair explaining his situation, and then saying, this is what it's got to be like. One, we've got to, there's got to be this union between heaven and earth. There can't be this disconnect anymore. There has to be this connect. And knowing that whatever you're negotiating or upskilling or trying to make practical, you have all the skills that you need to do whatever it is. So say this is in a relationship. There might be some boundaries that need to be set, some grounding, and then speaking in a very practical sense, and then actually creating it, you bringing the magic in like the magician, saying, okay, let's work on this in a grounded, authentic way. That's good for all, but do it in a practical sense, and we'll get there, making magic out of it. Because here we have moving on, definitely wanting to move on to calmer waters. And it could be dealing with family, because we see sort of 3 people there moving on to calmer waters and moving away from conflict, but taking those lessons that you've learned and moving on. And here's the sense of rejection, being left out in the cold. So maybe you want to do this, but you're afraid that you'll be left out in the cold, that there'll be a loss of finances, a loss of support. And with the 7 here, 7 of Swords, this is the card of theft as well. It's definitely that you feel there will be loss if you create something that is practical and real and solid. There's this sense that the balance won't be achieved, that there will be a certain loss if you make some alternate choice, something that isn't expected by others. It's almost like the lucky escape, because that's what you want, is a break. But it's almost like you have to sneak away with this. You have to put this forward and sneak away with it. But you're scared to look at that, in a sense, with the 5 of Pentacles. It might also be that you fear a loss of something that is tangible, theft, that there is loss, or you're suffering loss, and you're moving away from loss, because you feel like something has been stolen, and feeling pretty exhausted. I mean, here you're standing on guard. The 9 of Wands, standing on guard. He's battered and bruised and exhausted. He's at the end of a cycle. He's got lots of opinions, but behind him in the past. So something from the past here, it still haunts you. And you're ready, you're standing on guard, because you know there's something still coming towards you. And you're looking at this loss. The loss is theft, loss, decision, choice that has to be made. Feeling like you could have got away with something, but the cycle hasn't quite closed. It is at 9. It is closing. And possibly, it is a general reading. So court cards can be people, or they can be the energies. So a king would be a change on the outside. It would be either a water sign dealing with it. a water sign. But the energies here is thinking with emotion, being emotionally involved in something, even though there's storm and chaos around you. I mean, we see this, but he's on a rock. He's pretty solid about the choices he wants to make. Can be a bit moody. This could be your own energy, remember. But very diplomatic and strategic in choices that are made and looking towards the future. I mean, yeah, this is the thoughts, the contemplation, thinking about what you're exhausted of, what you're tired of, what you want to get away with, what you want to change. Because there's change that you want here. You want to move on to something and make a decision and a choice. So, what is a Gemini that haunts you? What is it that is, let's see what we get. But it's just some more clarity here. What is the Emperor and the Six of Swords? The grounding, the foundation, the clarity, the decision, the choice, the authority. And it says, Apple, believe in your dreams. So there's some form of dream here that you need to believe in, but it came out in reverse. I will read that from the book as well for more clarity. And then wanting to move away from conflict and difficulty, but thinking about how to do this, how to cut out what you no longer need. And here we have a storm, resolving conflicts. So there definitely are conflicts in this situation, and it's almost like a storm, but it is in reverse, so it's definitely moving away. So I'm going to pause this while I find it in the book to save time on the recording. Right, Gemini. So here we go. So the apple, it says, believe in your dreams, and in reverse, the Spirit's message, Oracle message, is just because your dreams are not unfolding right at this instant, it does not mean they never will. When you quit believing in your dreams, a part of you dies. Dreams remind us of possibilities, but even dreams need effort and persistence in order to manifest. You have made some wrong choices in the past that have prevented your dreams from manifesting. Do not repeat those same mistakes, and the belief will return. Then the dreams will come true. Now, is that not amazing? I mean, the magician says that too. You can create it. You can make something practical happen here. You desperately want to. And then we have storm in reverse, and I'm glad it's in reverse. And storm is about resolving conflicts. Reversed, it says lightning occurs during all thunderstorms. Although not every time it rains, refrain from striking out needlessly, even if situations seem to warrant it now. It will still be tense, but the pressure in the environment around you will ease soon. Remember that storms cleanse the atmosphere and the environment. Pressure is easing up. Allow the conflicts and tensions to move on. No longer are the storm clouds gathering. The worst is now over. Step aside and let them pass. That's exactly what we've seen in the tarot. So, you know, that you can't make this stuff up. Spirit just confirms over and over the same situation. Whether it is tarot, whether it is oracle, whether you're using the Norman, the message is clear. So even if this touches one soul out there, this message is for you. Let me know where this is in your life. You know, sharing is it just helps. It lifts the load as well. Okay, so another one. It could have been with regards to a relationship, because we do have a 2, but it could be a choice. Something about a shadow side here, and wearing a mask in a sense. So let's read that from the book. 2, it should be quite quick to find. And it says here, the gentle dance. And, you know, the Six of Swords is about the gentle dance. And it says relationships appear perfect to the outside world, but something deeper is going on right now. There may be a feeling of mistrust or a gut feeling that something is not quite right. If you're thinking about a past relationship, you must release or deal with the issues in order to move on and let go. Don't put past relationships on a pedestal. There was a reason why they did not work out. If you are having issues with a current partner, then it is time to be honest and seek the answers as to why you are not content. It is likely the problems are not as great as you feel and can be resolved. If you are looking for love, it may be closer than you realize. You may see a friend or acquaintance in a different light, as it is only lack of confidence on both sides which is stopping a union. So, the King of Cups can also be, as I say, emotional. It is water, so it could be wanting a new relationship, thinking about love. That's a huge possibility. Maybe you've suffered a very difficult relationship, but now there's an ending or closure, but being on guard and very cautious to look to the future for something new. That's a possibility as well. There's so many scenarios. It is a general reading. Thank you so much, Gemini. I wish you all the best. And once again, thank you for your support. Go well.